land rates there would further plunge. And because of this vested interest, today, Visakha has taken the beating. So going forward, I'm here to assure everybody here that there would be changes, because this is inevitable. If one were to compete with Hyderabad, compete with Chennai, compete with Bangalore, it's very important that Visakha becomes the economic growth engine. That is, in fact, if I were to have any vested interest, probably I would be speaking about Kadapa. See, for me, the state is ours, to everyone here. And one in my place should think in terms of what is good for the next generation. How would we want our children to be positioned? How are the state's revenues going to be? And how exactly can we boost these revenues to support the growth of Andhra Pradesh? If we do not think like this in terms of growth for Visakha, then who would think? If the vision of the leader is wrong, if the vision of the leader is negative, then Visakha, today unfortunately, only person standing for Visakhapatnam as executive capital is only me. Unfortunately, this is the reality. Fighting against the entire opposition, fighting against vested interests of the media, everybody wanting that Visakhapatnam is not declared as executive capital. This is the reality. Everybody should keep this in mind, understand this reality. Now moving further, Visakha would have to develop. I'm assuring you, cases going on, we have so many people trying to oppose everything. But I'm assuring you, post-election, my stay would be in Visakha. In fact, my swearing-in ceremony also would be in Visakha. This is my commitment to Visakha. And now, what is the vision for Visakha? See, we need to have a 10-year vision. We would have to own this city, christen the city as executive capital, become part of the city, and have a 10-year vision. You know, we need to have a roadmap which is workable, which is doable. It cannot be a roadmap where we just dream big but yet achieve nothing, because it is impractical. Not so. We need to have a practical solution, we need to have a practical approach, and we need to have a vision which is realizable in 10 years' time. Of course, this vision is one vision which cannot be alone done by the state government. It would have to be the state government, It would have to be the central government. It would have to be a PPP model. It would have to be encouraging private people also to become part of the vision. All these people become part of this vision, only then we can realize Vizag is the next competitor in a decade's time to Hyderabad, Bangalore or Chennai. In fact, why I was opposed to the idea of having Amaravati as a capital. There is nothing against it. In fact, I'm one person who advocates the view that Amaravati should also have a legislative capital. In fact, I'm also one person who advocates the view that Kurnool should also have a judicial capital. Nothing against it. But then, the fact of the matter is, Amaravati is on a virgin land. 50,000 acres of barren land. Nothing there. And according to them, just to provide for the basic infrastructure, that is these roads, the water, electricity, and these kind of basic infrastructure alone, according to their own calculations, with the DPR that they have produced, costs almost 2 crores per acre, which is on a 50,000 acres of barren land. If one were to just lay these basic infrastructure requirements put in place, we're talking about 1 lakh investments, 1 lakh crores of money, which would have to be put in before any buildings could come up or before we could talk about anything else other than the basic roads or the basic electricity or the basic water or the basic stuff. Now per se, does anybody have 1 lakh crores to be pumped in? And if this 1 lakh crores were to be pumped in today, it's going to cost 1 lakh crores. But if this 1 lakh crores would be pumped in maybe in 20 years' time, presuming 5,000 crores of outlay every year, approximately, what one could actually probably afford. So there's nothing there. Then you're talking about 20 years. Then in 20 years' time, 1 lakh crore probably would become 7, 8 lakhs or 10 lakh crores. The expenditure what you thought about as 1 lakh crores today, in 20 years would actually be 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. Probably the net present value calculations of probably 1 lakh crores 20 years down the line would probably be one were to calculate 1 lakh crores today, 20 years down, it would be 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakh crores. And which is going to be a dream chasing. You would never be anywhere. That is the reason why I say I'm nothing against it. It's only something that we can't do it. Whereas here in Vizag, we have a place which already has this basic infrastructure. We already have roads. We already have good roads. We already have electricity, good electricity. We have good water connections. We have good everything. Basic infrastructure is already put in place. So all what we need to do is, given that finishing touches, just give it a little bit of finishing touches, and it would transform into something much, much, much bigger. And what are those finishing touches that we need to give? An iconic secretariat. The moment we shift here and christen it as executive capital, you obviously would have the entire employees also come and station here, for which a secretariat building. Why construct an ordinary secretariat building? Construct something iconic, which would stand out, which would attract the entire country to see. An iconic secretariat, an iconic convention center. People talk about one of Geo Convention Center. The latest, the biggest, the best. These are the names that they give. If we have something like that, not much of a cost. Why can't we have one here so that the entire world, entire country looks up? Iconic stadium. There's one in Ahmedabad. Investment is probably 800 crores, 1,000 crores. Not much of an investment. But the entire country talks about it. Entire country talks about that stadium. And whensoever a match is played between the countries, that stadium is glorified. It is spoken about by the entire country. Entire world sees that stadium. All these that I speak about are iconic. All these, if they were to be commissioned, would actually pitch Vizag on the global scale. Would draw eyeballs, not only of the country, but the whole world, to actually look at Vizag. What we have envisioned for Vizag, iconic secretariat, iconic convention center, iconic stadium, Institute of Emerging Technologies. One beautiful institute wherein the talent for any emerging technologies is tutored here. If our students could be given that kind of skills, tutored here, this would be positioned as something else. We have the Bhogapuram International Airport coming up. At a very brisk pace, the work is happening. And within the next 15 months or 18 months, this project would actually see the light of the day. It's moving at a very brisk pace. Then connectivity to the Bhogapuram International Airport. A 6-lane beach corridor road with beautiful green lawns on either side of the roads. 6-lane road to Bhogapuram International Airport.